Good morning to all my amazing students. Welcome back from spring break, I guess. We're still online, still doing the same stuff. So I'm here this morning, or this afternoon, depending on when you're watching this video, in the greenhouse again, and working on some stuff in here. So I wanted to share with you some things that are happening, and there's some actual questions that are associated with this video, so you're going to want to make sure you answer the questions that go along with it. So as you can see, if you remember seeing the other videos that happened in the greenhouse, things look a little different right now. Right before break, we had our sale. We sold about $7,200 worth of plants, which is a little more than 75% of our inventory. You can see all the hooks hanging and the strings hanging that were baskets. We have like 21 baskets left out of 325, I want to say. Planters are gone, single plants are gone. So we still have stuff though. We've got some inventory left, and I'm working to keep that inventory going until Mother's Day, when we are going to be selling stuff again. So it's tricky to get our plants to make it that long. So when we sell plants, our goal is to open around Easter and then close out around Mother's Day. So I have to have plants that look good enough to be selling sometimes end of March, April, but again, make it all the way to the second Sunday in May. And that's tough at times. So during that time frame, what we're doing is we're looking for things that are happening that make our plants not as sellable as we would like, and trying to fix that while we can. So usually I have you guys in here with me, and we're able to do some things to help correct problems, but you aren't with me, so I'm doing it by myself. So one of the things right now that I've been doing is I'm watering plants, keeping things fresh. I want everything always to be watered, so water's not a stressor for our plants. And for the most part, I do a pretty good job of that. This guy here got a little water stressed on me, so I gotta make sure. He's the only one right now that's water stressed. I water about every 3 days right now. So we have about 550 geraniums, and geraniums are a big seller on Mother's Day weekend, probably because that's what's left. But we sell a lot, and I'm seeing some different issues with our geraniums this year than I have in the past, and I'm seeing some of the same geraniums, or some of the same issues that we have year after year. So a couple things to keep in mind, just like looking at this table here. We have lots of things on this table that look different. And I know we do plant ID, and I know we go over the differences in plants. And all of these plants, all of our geraniums are zonal geraniums. So that is, what is it? Pelargonium hortalorum or something like that, is the botanical name. So they're all the same genus, they're all the same species, but they are very different varieties. I grow about 17 different varieties of geraniums. And you can see it, obvious with the colors of the blooms. But when you look at them, you can see differences. So we just look here. I've got this type of leaf, and I've got this type of leaf. Okay, so those are different. And then when I go over here, I also have like a solid green leaf. All of my solid green leaf plants, for the most part, are white, but some of them are also pinks. So there's some changes and differences. There's some that bloom earlier, there's some that bloom later, there's some that get taller, some of them are more short and compact. But what we can do is make sure that they're all full. And you guys that have been in the class in the greenhouse, I'm telling you, with the geraniums, we pinch them. When we pinch them, and we pinch them. And the goal is to have them look kind of like this. Nice, compact, full geranium. Versus my asparagus geranium here that got missed. Someone didn't pinch him. Oh, he got one stem. He's got big leaves, but he's very Charlie Brown Christmas tree-ish, we'll say. So we don't want that. So I'm gonna have to go in and pinch some of these again. I have to go in and remove some of the dead leaves. Gotta do that because that's how disease starts, and we don't want disease being in our geraniums either. Another big issue that I'm seeing is this. And you can see this redding over here. That shouldn't be like that. It's pretty. People are like, how do I get my geraniums to look like that? Good question. I can't figure it out. I do know we have water in the greenhouse that has a very high pH. And I don't know if that has something to do with it. And I also don't know if it has something to do with the cold. It's been very mild. We have one here like that. They're changing. And this table here over the weekend has done this. And I don't know why. We got some over here that is happening too. And this one here is really bad. And this one's weird because it was not like this 3 days ago. And I know something happened a couple days ago. Where is it? Can't see it. This happened. There it is. This happened. This is empty. There's a panel that came flying down in the winter or in the storm we had a couple days ago. And we see some damage here. Our panel's right here. And it's been cold out at night. So I'm wondering if the cold temperatures are doing something with these leaves, because I can't control that temperature as well now. So that's something we're looking at with the geraniums. I'm going to be pruning, getting them nice and round. Our baskets have to make it too. Some issues we've been seeing in baskets, again, all along, is this one here. You can see it. This is chlorosis, and it's happening in some of our petunias. It also happens in the Calibrachoa that we have. And I know what this is, and I know why it happens, and I know how to fix it. And it is because our water has a high pH. And so the soil becomes a little bit more basic than we like. So it usually floats to be around 7 to 8. And most of our plants like pH to be about 5.5 to 6. So it's a little high. When that happens, it reduces the plant's ability to take in iron. And iron is what causes this. So these plants don't have enough iron right now. It's there. It's in my fertilizer, but the plants can't take it up because the pH is too high. So I have to put down an acidifier. And I have. This guy looked much worse. He's starting to look better. Same with these. It's happening in those. So I put down the acidifier. And it just takes a little bit of time for it to bounce back. So working on that. The last thing I want to show you that I'm going to be doing this week, working on a little bit today, and I'll be working on all week and showing you how we do it, is if you look at our baskets here, they're a little overgrown right now. They're not as rounded as I would like to see them, so I'm going to have to prune them back, which involves cutting off blooms and making them look a little yucky, like a big haircut. And then in hopes that they'll bounce back in the next month and put off new growth. So if you remember, when we went over plant parts and we were talking about stems, at the tip of every stem is where all their growth is occurring, the apical meristem, which is usually, right here. All that growth's happening. So I'm going to cut that growth tip off, and when I do that, that's why we pinch. It removes that apical meristem and forces them to put off lateral growth, so it'll get fuller. And they look really yucky for a while, but then they bounce back, and it usually helps them last longer. So we're doing that with those. The other thing I have to do that with is our graduation planters. So they look amazing right now. My seniors, look how pretty they are. But for me, the perfectionist that I am, I see lots of things that I want better with them. First of all, I want this grass to be more visible. And some of them you can't even see the grass. So I'm going to go in and I'm going to prune around the grass, cut that back, and try to give that grass some space and some sunlight to grow a little bit bigger. You can't see my beautiful New Guineas very well, so I'm going to have to cut back around there so that they can come out and get bigger. And my petunias just need to be trimmed back some. These guys are going to have to make it to at least the end of June. That's where graduation is slated for right now. So it's going to be tough getting them that long. They tend to get overgrown and they start turning yellow. So one of the things I'm going to be doing this week also is taking cuttings from these. So as I prune them, I'm going to be taking cuttings from them and trying to make new plants. So I'll take, with each of these, where these are, we've got the red petunia. These are verbena, look like this, you can see them. And then I have some white lanai in here as well. So I'm gonna take a cutting of this, I'm gonna take a petunia cutting, I'm gonna take a verbena cutting, I'm gonna stick them in rooting hormone and put them all together because that is the combo that it came with. And then hopefully I'll be able to get those plugs in case I need to make some new baskets or replace any of these that are looking really rough as we move into hot June. So we'll see. That's something I'm going to be doing this week, and I'll be taking videos of that as well. Moving to the other side of the greenhouse. Not too much, same thing here. These small planters look gorgeous. But again, some of them aren't really perfectly rounded. These got pruned back already, so they look kind of good. They won't need it too much. But some of them, like this one, it's just like a little bit lopsided. So we'll fix that. Fix this one a little bit too. And make them a little bit more rounded. Then this one over here, or did I see the one there? This one here. It's like lopsided as well. So move it so you can see a little bit. There's a grass in there somewhere. Needs some sunlight. So I'll prune those back as well. They'll bloom again and make it to the time we need. These baskets aren't looking too bad. So those are just some general upkeep that we have to do in this weird time between the start of our sale and the end of our sale. And that's just something you do to keep the longevity of the plants going. The cool thing is everything we do are things you can do at home with your plants that you can make them last longer. So, you know, you don't just stick plants outside and be done with it. There's some things you can do to increase the life of your plants and make them look better throughout the whole summer and growing season, and not just when you buy them at the store. So there will be more videos coming. There is another video you're gonna watch on what I'm doing with these. And then there's some questions associated with this video that I would like you to answer. Just short little question on some of the things that are happening here. So you can go ahead and do that now, and then you can watch the next video after this.